Good afternoon and welcome to the Board of Barber and Cosmetology meeting. Before the meeting is called to order, we will play a short video to explain the procedures for this meeting and to explain how members of the public can participate and interact with board members.
Welcome to the Professional and Vocational Licensing Virtual Board Meeting. When the meeting begins momentarily, the chair will take a roll call, explain any specific rules for this particular board, and then move to public comment. The name of the board member will appear on the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. For instance, this is board member Y, and this is board member E. Public testimony will be accepted at the beginning of the meeting and before each agenda item. You can indicate that you are ready to testify by clicking on the Raise Hand button being circled by the mouse on your screen now. At the appropriate time, the board will recognize you to speak and ask you to unmute your mic as shown here. Again, public testimony will be accepted at the beginning of the meeting and before each agenda item. Public attendees will not be able to unmute their microphone until recognized by the board. Public attendees who are recognized to testify will be asked to identify themselves by name and their affiliated organization if applicable. Please mute your microphone when you are finished speaking as a courtesy to others and members of the board. Public attendees will not be able to unmute themselves after the testimony is completed unless recognized again after raising their hand. At some point during the meeting, the board may choose to move into executive session. When the board moves into executive session, the board members' microphones and video feeds will be turned off, and a similar screen as you see now will be displayed. When the board returns from executive session, their microphones will be turned on as well as their video cameras. Welcome again to the Professional and Vocational Licensing Virtual Board Meeting. At this time, the chair will call the meeting to order and take a roll call, as well as explain any additional rules that may be specific to this board.
Aloha, everyone. Happy New Year. To view the meeting and provide live oral testimony, please use the link at the top of the agenda. You will be asked to enter your name. The board will request that you enter your full name, but you may use a pseudonym or other identifier if you wish to remain anonymous. You will also be asked for an email address. You may fill in this field with any entry in an email format, example, name@email.com. Your microphone will be automatically muted. When the chairperson asks for public testimony, you may click and raise the raise hand button found on your Zoom screen to indicate that you wish to testify about that agenda item. The chairperson will individually enable each testifier to unmute their microphone. When recognized by the chairperson, please unmute your microphone before speaking and mute your microphone after you are finished speaking. If you cannot get internet access, you may get audio-only access by calling the Zoom phone number listed at the top of the agenda. Upon dialing the number, you will be prompted to enter a meeting number or a meeting ID, which is also listed at the top of the agenda. After entering the meeting ID, you will be asked to either enter your panelist number or wait to be admitted into the meeting. You will not have a panelist number, so please wait until you are admitted into the meeting. When the chairperson asks for public testimony, you may indicate you want to testify by entering star and then 9 on your phone keypad. After entering star and then 9, a voice prompt will let you know that the host of the meeting has been notified. When recognized by the chairperson, you may unmute yourself by pressing star, then the number 6 on your phone. The voice prompt will let you know that you are unmuted. Once you are finished speaking, enter star and then the number 6 again to mute yourself. For both internet and phone access, when testifying, you will be asked to identify yourself and the organization, if any, that you represent. Each testifier will be limited to 5 minutes of testimony per agenda item. If connection to the meeting is lost for more than 30 minutes, the meeting will be continued on a specified date and time. This information will be provided on the board's website. I will now take roll call. Members, when I call your name, please respond present or here, and if you are joining us remotely, indicate if anyone is at your location. Les Murata,
Les Murata present.
Michael Basta,
Present and alone.
Ashley Cornelio,
Present and I'm alone.
and I, Rainette Hall, am present and alone. I'm calling this meeting to order at 12:08 p.m. At this time, I believe the board will recess to discuss adjudicatory matters.
Hang tight, board. We will put you into a private room.
Okay, is everybody back? Yes,
Yes.
okay. So we're moving on to agenda item number 2, approval of November 19th, 2024 public and executive sessions. Is there anyone who would like to provide testimony for agenda item number 2?
Thank you, Chair. This is Johnny. We do not have anyone requesting to provide testimony.
Okay, are there any corrections or amendments to open session or executive session minutes from November 19th, 2024? I didn't have any. Anyone else? Okay, so anyone motion to approve the minutes?
You're muted, Leslie.
Okay, I move that we approve the minutes.
A second?
I second.
Okay,
Michael. Positive.
Okay, let's vote to approve the minutes in open and executive session. Everyone approve? Aye.
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 Okay, anyone disapprove? No, okay, the vote is approved. And now we're moving on to, wait,
Number 4.
number 4. 2025 legislative session. Is there anyone who would like to provide testimony or agenda for item number 4?
Thank you, Chair. We do not have anyone requesting to provide testimony.
So the first item, Chair, is the cosmetology licensure compact model legislation. We discussed this briefly at the November meeting. I responded back to the senator who brought it to our attention and said the board was had a good discussion but needed more time to review, that it would be on our February meeting agenda, and the senator's office responded that the senator was going to be introducing this as legislation this session. I have not seen that bill that she is presenting yet, but it should be very similar to the compact model legislation. I don't know when that will be introduced, but more than likely, as soon as it is, I'll have to be I or our chair will have to be giving testimony on the board's position on the bill. So I wanted us to have an opportunity to discuss it before the legislation was submitted. So I forwarded you the model legislation. I forwarded you the video. It's about a year and a half old that the compact put out with information regarding the compact. Are there concerns that anyone has? Are there comments? Are you 100% behind it? I need direction to help you draft testimony for the bill.
So I did have,
yeah.
oh, go ahead, go, Mike.
No, good, good, no, good, good.
I did have a question because I watched the whole thing. And one of the things they said was that the states that were not a part of this compact were New York, California, Alaska, and Massachusetts. So I'm assuming that we may be a part of the compact for medical licensure, not cosmetology. And that's why, because they were talking about medical and cosmetology combined within it. So am I correct in thinking that that's what we've already been a part of it for the medical side of it?
So medical board and so the compacts are separate for each profession. The medical profession has a compact, nursing has a compact. Hawaii is becoming part of the medical compact. We're not 100% a part yet because Hawaii doesn't require fingerprinting, and the medical compact requires fingerprints. So I believe that that's coming shortly. The cosmetology licensure compact is very new. It needed 8 states to be enacted, and that's exactly how many states have voted to be part of it. Ohio, Kentucky, Tennessee, Virginia, Maryland, Colorado, Arizona, and Alabama are part of the cosmetology licensure compact. 2 states are currently have bills before their state legislatures. That's New Jersey and Texas. And then once the senator introduces legislation, that will be 3 states. So Hawaii is part of some compacts, not the cosmetology compact at this time.
Okay. I really like it, but Michael, you can, whatever you had questions on.
No, I don't have any questions. The compact's pretty comprehensive. I read through it a couple times. I highlighted some things, and any questions that I had kind of it answered it. It's pretty good. I just want to say that, I'm behind it. I think it's a great idea. I was licensed in 3 different states. It's a pain in the butt, especially for military, although I'm not a military spouse, but every time they make a move, having to, relicense and retest, So, and I think more movement within our industry can only elevate us, because we're getting more novelty, we're getting different skill sets. And why not make it easy? And why not make it a more of attractive place to land? So I can't see the downside to it, honestly. I think it's a great idea. So I hope we get it through.
I have
That's my 2
a
cents. That's all I
comment
got.
too.
Sorry.
I totally agree as well. Like it's a extremely comprehensive and amazing plan. I wish that barbers could be included in this verbiage because I as well am licensed in 3 states, and I understand the difficulty that comes with trying to get your license every place you go, and the duration of period of time that it takes. It keeps you away from your chair. So with the unification of, the cosmetology board and the barber board that we're kind of in, it would be nice to see verbiage for our whole industry, not just cosmetologists. But I support it because I think it's great.
Yeah,
I
I
agree.
I have
that
a
was one
question.
of my biggest concerns, is that this is strictly for cosmetologists. It does not include barbers. It does not include nail technicians. It does not include hairdressers or estheticians. And the video that I had shared out addressed that. And basically, the folks that put the compact together said if those professions want a compact, they need to put one together. So they're not interested in bringing other folks into the cosmetology compact. At least right now, it does not sound as if that's
Well,
part of their plan.
that's because the Department of Defense is funding it. So it's to supplement it, they showed the statistics for military spouses, and that's kind of what their focus was on. So I get it. I agree with this compact and I support it 100%.
Could
But it would be
we,
nice to.
I agree, could we
Yeah.
as the board request that it is put into, who's the legislator that's putting it in?
Well, here's the thing. If
Donna.
we ask Senator
Donna
McCarty,
Mikado Kim.
Kim, if we asked her to change it, the compact folks are gonna throw it out.
Yeah, it says that at the onset.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they sent out this model legislation, and they say in several places, don't change it, because we won't accept it if you change this. We won't allow you into the compact if you change it too much, if you substantially change it. So
Then-
again, it is specifically for cosmetologists. That is what the compact people want it to be. And they've put it together like that. It would be nice if if Hawaii does join it, that perhaps Hawaii and other states can broaden the scope of it after we're a part of it, but to become part of it, we can't tweak it.
Who is the commission?
It is the Department of Defense was funding it, and it's put out by the Council of State Governments National Center for Interstate Compacts,
Okay,
which
they
is
keep
based out of
talking about-
Kentucky somewhere.
Yeah, they keep talking about commission and its member representative.
Mhm.
And who would that be?
Oh, no.
again, states, the Council of State Governments is an entity in Kentucky that works on compacts. So that's the independent group working on it.
But don't they want somebody on their board from each state?
Oh,
They
they
don't
want
want-
all the states to be a member. So
Yeah.
if I understood the video that I watched and the material I read, if Hawaii joins the compact, someone from Hawaii will be on the cosmetology compact board. More than likely, the executive officer, perhaps the chair. They will help make decisions for the compact. They will help, it'd be a regular board that they would meet regularly.
Okay.
If I understood correctly, an individual would get a license in their home state, whatever their home state is. We're gonna use Hawaii for an example. Someone's gonna get a cosmetology license here in Hawaii, and they want to hold the multi-state license so they can go and work somewhere else for a while. Once they have their Hawaii state license, by meeting all of our requirements, they would apply for the multi-state license. And then once they have that, then they can go and work in other states, maintaining their home state license. I believe if they change home states permanently, like not just for the military, I'm only here for 2 years or whatever, but if they change their home state permanently, they'd have to go get a home state license in that state and then reapply for the multi-state. Yeah, so there would be some, if it passes, there would be some time for us to develop what we need to develop. We'd have to develop the multi-state license and what our fee would be for that. We would have to determine what that would cost, because there is a fee for member states to be part of the compact. We pay a fee to the compact. And I would assume that the multi-state license would pay that fee, would make it so that those fees would cover the fee we need to be a part of the multi-state compact. But it sounds like the board is in support of this legislation. Are there, again, we don't have the actual bill in front of us. It's gonna be very similar to this, though. Would you have comments that you would like me to bring when we do testimony? The board is in support, however, they have this concern, or the board is in support.
What is the cost? What would the cost of a multi-state license be versus just an in-state license?
That's something we would need to determine. Probably a good starting point would be for me to reach out to the other states that have joined the compact to see how what they have done. I don't know what it costs to join the compact, so it'd be hard to determine what the fee should be. But that's some research I would probably have to do before this gets introduced, so that we could have the senator include those, mention that there's gonna be a fee. Because we'll have to upgrade our system.
So right now, those, like, because the Department of Defense is funding it, the people cosmetologists who are coming and working on base at the moment do not have to go through the Board of Cosmetology, correct? Like, they don't
That's
have to
correct.
apply. So
That's
then
correct. We have an exception that if someone is working on base, they don't have to have a license.
it has to be it's up to the government to let them, or the salon itself. Like, how does that work? Like, I know I'm going a little off base, but
Yeah, so our exemption says that if someone is working for the United States government on government property, so they would have, is it the Army's hair shop they're working in? That's how they're working for the US government, or are they enlisted and their job in the military is to cut hair?
So a salon that's on Hickam,
Mhm.
do they have to get a shop license from you? know this is so
It's
obvious, but
on
it
government
becomes
property.
clear.
I would have to go back and look at the rules. You kind of
Okay.
like throw me.
We can come back to that later.
Yeah, we'll have to look that up, yeah.
But I am good with to be a part of the compact for cosmetologists, because I know hiring people who have just moved in, and because I'm on the board, I'm more of a stickler about it, like, go get your license, turn in your paperwork, I will wait for you, but most of them end up going and working someplace else that doesn't ask them for that.
Mm.
So that's why I'm good with being a part of this, for just getting our foot in the door.
Are those people coming from the states that are currently a part of the compact that are applying at your spot though?
I
Coming
don't
from
know.
Kentucky, Ohio,
No, it's mostly
Tennessee.
California. Like, a lot of them are California or from I had one from New York.
the
You know,
East
like,
Coast.
yeah.
Yeah.
And they moved because their husband moved for work, that kind of thing. And then they weren't military. They were non-military moving over. But then they just go and work for somebody else, or they end up not working at all, and then we lose a hairdresser.
Yeah. So I'm hearing that the board is in support of the compact. They would not be opposed to be a part of it. And I'm not hearing very many concerns and it's hard to really discuss it because we don't have the actual bill in front of us, right? Which leads us to 4B. See how I segued there? Isn't that smooth?
Very smooth.
So if we could, one or two people that I could call in between meetings, if something came up in the legislature that I just need, hey, this came up, or they want to change this, how does the board feel about it? Is there someone that would like to volunteer for that? And once we get the actual bill, if it's before the February meeting and I have to go speak, I can say, this is what I plan on saying. Are you okay with that? Is there someone who would like to volunteer to be our legislative liaison? I will not make you go speak in front of the legislature. I will do that for you.
Then
Sure.
Michael, perfect.
Awesome.
Oh, it doesn't sound overwhelming.
My
Okay.
phone line is always open, but Michael can be your first stop.
Okay. Okay, what I'll do is I'll put Michael as number 1 and Raynette as number 2. Does that make sense?
Yep.
For me to call if I have a question between meetings regarding legislation this session? Or is the rest of the board happy with me taking their direction and running with it? I see heads nodding.
Yes.
So number 4 is, I think we're okay with, when the legislation comes out, the board is in support. If anything is terribly different from what is here, I'll call Michael first, Raynette second if I can't reach Michael, and prepare testimony and we'll move forward with that. Everyone good with that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I think we're good.
Okay. Moving on to applications. Agenda number 5. Is there anyone who would like to provide testimony for agenda item number 5?
Thank you, Chair. We do not have anyone requesting to provide testimony.
Okay, may I have a motion to enter into executive session pursuant to Hawaii Revised Statutes 92-5A1 and 92-5A4 to consider and evaluate personal information relating to individuals applying for professional and vocational license cited in section 26-9 or both, and to consult with the board's attorney on questions and issues pertaining to the board's powers, duties, privileges, immunities, and liabilities. I motion, so is there a second?
I second.
Second.
Okay, let's vote to move into executive session. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Aye.
Okay, move into executive session.
All right, hang tight. We'll get you in a private room.
Sorry, I was on mute. Okay, now that we're back, Les, would you like to make your motion?
Okay. I move that the board approve the application for barber exam for Dylan Swenson with conditions. The board approve Andrew Cham and also Kabai Pa'a. The board also approve shop application for beauty shop for the Beauty Cartel LLC and for the barber shop license for two of Top Gun's Barbershop LLC at Coco Marina and at Mililani Fast Stop. And the board also approved Eric Patino application for barber exam with condition. And also the board approved the board ratifies the list of issued licenses. Do I have a motion for approval? Do I say that?
Second motion. So you're motioning first, I second the motion, Rainette.
Okay.
And now we vote to approve. Aye.
Aye. Les Morata.
Hi, Michael Boston.
Ashley, you're muted.
You're muted, Ashley.
I, Ashley Cornelio.
Thank you.
Okay. Now on to agenda item 6, executive officer report. Is there anyone who would like to provide testimony on agenda item 6?
Thank you, Chair. We do not have anyone requesting to provide testimony.
Hey, thank you. I have the test results for October 2024 and November 2024 available. For October, barber, number of candidates examined 11, number of candidates passed 7, and number of candidates failed 4. For cosmetologist, number of candidates examined 11, number of candidates passed 5, number of candidates failed 6. For estheticians, number of candidates examined 47, number of candidates passed 25, number of candidates failed 22. For hairdressers, number of candidates examined 4, number of candidates passed 3, and number of candidates failed 1. There were no instructor examinations done. For nail technicians, the number of candidates examined were 8. The number of candidates passed were 2, and the number of candidates failed were 6. For a total of 81 candidates tested, 42 passed, and 39 failed. For November 2024, barbers, the number of candidates examined was 7, the number passed was 4, and the number failed was 3. For cosmetologists, the number of candidates examined was 20, number passed was 12, and the number failed was 8. For estheticians, the number of candidates examined was 27, passed was 11, and failed was 16. For hairdressers, the number of candidates examined was 4, no one passed, and 4 failed. There were no instructor exams done that month. For nail technicians, there were 21 candidates examined, 7 passed, and 14 failed, for a total of 79 candidates examined, 34 passing, and 45 failing. And that is the test results for those 2 months.
Okay. Thank you. And then so we can move on to agenda 7.
Yes.
Okie dokie. Our next meeting is February 11th, 2025 at 12 p.m. And this meeting, do I have to read all of that?
No.
Okay, this meeting is adjourned. Or do I have to vote on if the meeting is adjourned?
No, you don't have to vote.
Okay. The meeting is adjourned.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank